Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing the full moon reading for the sign of Scorpio. Alright, my lovely Scorpios, how you guys doing today? I hope this June is treating you well. I hope you're not getting too hot wherever you're at. My lovely Scorpios, alright? I love Scorpio energy. I'm a Sagittarius myself, but I get along well with Scorpios. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I kind of understand them. At least the ones I've met. Right? So, you guys are intense, you know, deep individuals. I respect that about the Scorpio. They require a lot more in a relationship. They're just simply, they're simply just not as surface as people believe. But in any case, we're going to get your animal spirit out, Scorpio, and see what animal spirit you're walking with this full moon period. All right, the full moon is in Sagittarius, so let's see what it holds for you, all right? Show me what animal spirit Scorpios are walking with this full moon period. What kind of support that they are going to receive from their animal spirit, energy, guidance, right? Show me. All right, Scorpio. Peacock. Woo, wow, you are feeling pretty. You're feeling beautiful. All attention is on you. All eyes are on you, Scorpio. Peacock. Oh, this is such a beautiful card, honestly. Peacock is very wise, right? But the peacock does quite like to strut around, you know, show off its beautiful plumes, right? Very mysterious, all right? Peacock feathers hold a lot of magic. In a lot of cultures, they're used in ritual, right? The eyes of the peacock, right, seems to allude to some kind of extrasensory vision that's there, being able to see into areas that people normally cannot. When you're watching the peacock strut around, he's watching you back, all right? So it's quite interesting energy. Certainly for Scorpio, you know, Scorpios, you don't necessarily like to take center stage per se. You like to sit in the shadows and watch from the shadows a lot of times. So peacock energy coming out for you is quite something to see, right? It's almost as if somebody has got you kind of feeling like you want to show yourself off a little bit, right? Peacock is just so graceful. You know, it's so beautiful. It's full of compassion as well. If you ever watch these creatures, they walk around, they're not very, they're very graceful. They're very gentle, right? And so, like I said, you know, when you're watching the peacock, it's watching you back. That's another thing about peacock energy. It's able to kind of digest and take in all the experiences of life. You know, when you see those beautiful feathers kind of come out, right? It's like really, you know, and all of these beautiful eyes, you know, they look like eyes, right? The peacock takes in so much. It takes in the fullness of its experience, right? There's a level of acceptance in the peacock of itself and those around it. Peacock energy is not the kind of energy that is separate from others. It doesn't take center stage because it wants to be the only one looked at. The peacock is highly empathetic. It wants everyone else, the peacock energy wants everyone else to look as beautiful as the peacock does. Extremely compassionate, extremely empathetic. This is a very rare card to get. In fact, I don't think I've ever pulled this card for any of my full moon readings before. I I believe it may have come up once or twice in a personal reading, but this is a very rare animal spirit to come out because of its level of compassion and empathy. It's kind of unrivaled. And the beauty that the peacock has kind of resides within the peacock, right? It isn't until it unfolds its plume where you see exactly how gorgeous it is, right? But usually the plumes are kind of kept down, right? Kept down and under. So it's beautiful, and it seems to suggest that you are in a state of evolving, Scorpio. I've been saying this about you lately in my readings. I feel that my readings for Scorpio have certainly been geared towards those of you who are going through an evolution. Scorpio is the only sign that has a 3-stage evolution to it. There's no other sign like it. It goes, you have Scorpio, the base kind of starting position, I want to say. And the Scorpio then evolves at some point in its life to an eagle and ultimately to a dove. Dove Scorpios are teachers. They're sages. They're gurus. They're people. They're the type of people that everyone goes to talk to and to get guidance from, because it's certainly once they've evolved to dove stage, they are totally transformed and completely connected with the spiritual. This is another reason why I love Scorpios, and a lot of people don't understand that. And this is why Scorpios have seemed to be in such turmoil all the time, because their souls and their spirits are literally like going through a transformation in this life, you know. And the objective is to ultimately become that dove, right? Reach its highest. So when you're getting a card like the peacock, which is an animal spirit that has now evolved to such a high level of compassion and empathy, you're talking about a Scorpio that is evolving, right? It could be that you're going into your eagle. You may even be going into your dove stage. Show me what's going on with these lovely Scorpios this full moon period. Show me. We want to see signs, affirmations, reaffirmations, warnings. Help me understand this beautiful energy of the peacock that has come out. Such a rare animal for our lovely Scorpios. Show me. Yeah, I'm so curious. Sometimes when I start off a reading, every reading I'm curious about, of course, you know, but depending on the animal that comes out, sometimes I get really like, woof, I can't wait to see what these cards are. I am very, very curious about this peacock coming out for you, Scorpio. So, let's see what your cards say. This is my lunar pattern tarot spread that I use because of the so many different aspects that are in this spread. You have quadrants, corner quadrant. You have the circle, which is shows you the progression in development and time. You have the levels from material up to spiritual. This is a highly aspected spread, actually. And in the center, you have 8 of Cups and Page of Pentacles. All right, at the bottom of the deck, 3 of Cups, like-minded, bonding, loyalty, unity, coming together with those that are like-minded. Some people call three of Cups third-party energy. Could be. It's hard to be a third party when you're all there. You know what I mean? Like, certainly not a negative third party, not one you don't know about. You certainly know about it. You're all there, right? So a lot of times 3 of Cups, rather than it being a nefarious kind of cheating energy, it's really more to do with kind of coming together as a group. Could be a polyamorous relationship, right? A lot of times 3 of Cups comes out for polyamory. For those of you out there who are who have that kind of a relationship with your lover or lovers, right? 8 of Cups coming out. So 8 of Cups talks about balance, boundaries in relationships, putting boundaries in place, understanding where you're weak and where you're strong in relationships, and now setting the tone accordingly. 8 is the number for strength and weakness. The major arcana, 8 is the lion strength card. It's about understanding your strengths. It's about understanding your weaknesses. And by extension, it talks about setting boundaries, right? Limits, discipline, right? Being disciplined in love in such a way that you turn your back on those cups that no longer serve you. You're no longer willing to entertain relationships that aren't beneficial or positive for you. You know yourself well enough to know that there are certain types of individuals that if you get involved with them, it's not good for you. So you're beginning to understand your strengths in relationships and where you're weak in relationship. And rather than falling prey to your weaknesses, you're employing strength and boundaries and discipline, right? So that you no longer fall into those traps, and so that you require a higher level of commitment. You require certain, you have criteria now that someone needs to meet before they can come into your presence, before they can become a part of your life. It may have been at a certain point in your life, you may not have had that criteria. You may have not been as discerning. You may have allowed a lot of individuals to come in, and you realize now that it hasn't been good for you. So this is an evolution. This is getting better. This is learning about yourself, and certainly in relationships getting stronger. Page of Pentacles. So just on the heels of that, there's an offer coming in. There's a message, a communique. Somebody wants to talk to you about money or opportunity, a job perhaps, a promotion perhaps, right? Almost feels like you've turned your back on things or certain types of relationships that have been sapping your energy, and it's focusing you, and now you've gotten someone's attention and they want to talk to you. Yeah, you're coming to the end of a long cycle. 10 of Swords has been coming out for everyone. Full moon readings are about harvest. They're about coming to end of karmic cycles, tying off karmic loops, burning off karmic debt, right? Paying karmic debt. 10 of Swords is a death. It's a death of the old you, because you're now at the end of a long war, really. That's been a sequence of battles. You've got your battle scars, and you're now done. You're done with that person. This energy is very, very supportive of that 8 of Cups. Can be that a lot of these relationships that you've had have caused a lot of pain for you, have caused you a lot of mental turmoil and anxiety, and the strength that you're now finding in yourself, you're realizing you don't need it anymore. You're putting it down. Beautiful. I love 10 of Swords because it is an evolving. This is a step up. 8 of Cups means you have evolved. 10 of Swords means you have evolved. You've closed off a stage. You're now going to the next. There we go. Ha! Tower. All right, folks. So, and in the comments, a lot, I get comments from my lovely watchers, and they tell me, how accurate sometimes I am or not, or how much it resonates. And I love all of those comments. And I was just replying to one today to say, a lot of times I do go into detail about the cards because I want you to understand how I got to the interpretation I'm coming to. I don't want it just to be something that I've plucked out of the air. I want you to understand why I'm saying the things I'm saying. A tower moment happens when your belief systems have been utterly destroyed in a way, right? Something has happened, has come in that has crumbled everything you've ever believed. And it's it's usually very positive because whatever's coming in is divinely led, right? It's always a light or a lightning bolt or something coming from the sky, right? This indicates a divinely led intervention, right? And it's the beginning of an evolving of yourself, of a building of a better tower. The tower is destroyed to make way for a better tower, always, right? If the tower is on a sturdy foundation, it can't be destroyed. So this is what's happening for you. You're waking up. You're realizing how strong you are. Soon as you realized how strong you are, here's the communication coming in to reaffirm. Now people are suddenly watching you, right? Now people are suddenly taking notice of you, right? They're coming in for you. Like I said, as soon as you made this decision to turn your back and stop splitting your energy and focusing your energy towards something that's positive for you, here comes this message, and I want to talk to you. I see you now. I see you different. This death of the old ego is certainly a tower moment. It's certainly a moment where you're like, oh my God, you know, I don't have to be like this anymore. I don't have to go through this anymore, right? Interesting. Emperor energy most recently coming in, right? I believe this is someone that's had their eye on you. Someone's had their eye on you, Scorpio. And they also see you now. All eyes are on you. Remember I said at the very beginning, all eyes are on you. It could be, right? This emperor has been in your life for quite some time, perhaps. Or maybe recently came into your life. But when I say recent, I mean perhaps in the last several months, right? Year at the longest, right? They've had their eye on you from a distance. They've seen the potential in you, right? Just as you see the potential in the peacock when his feathers are down. You see those long trail of feathers, and you could see, oh wow, you know, if that peacock would but open up their feathers, how beautiful, you know. It's seeing the potential, right? So they've seen that, and now you are blossoming, right? By evolving and by focusing on yourself. And see, when you decide, the moment you truly decide to turn your back on negativity or to turn your back on those things that don't serve you, you have a vibrational shift that happens. You know, a lot of people don't understand that. This decision has to be on every level complete. It can't be a wishy-washy, oh, I'm not going to do this anymore, but you know deep down inside you will. Right? I'm talking about when you really decided that you've given up certain behavior patterns that are negative, that don't suit you, and that split your energies amongst, I want to say vampires, really, so, you know, energy vampires, people who suck your energy, right? But when you truly make that shift and that decision, you get a vibrational shift. And that's what we readers sometimes talk about, vibrating higher. You want to vibrate higher. Because when your vibration shifts a little bit and becomes a little bit more harmonic, now others can tune in. Other people who are resonating at that frequency can tune in. People who are resonating at a frequency that is a harmonic, right? Which means that is copacetic, that is similar, right? In nature, positive, right, can see you. They can see you. They can hear that vibration. And this is the law of attraction. That's the metaphysical explanation for it, right? And this is what we talk about in terms of it being a very real energy that happens that brings in like-minded individuals. Now you've done that. You've opened up your plumes, and this emperor has sent the message, and this message is coming from them, right? Could be a friend of theirs has reached out, they want to have a meeting with you. Could be that they figured out some way to get next to you, to get closer to you, some kind of way, whether it's a dinner, a meeting, mutual friends getting together. Somehow this emperor has decided to find a way to get next to you, and you, Moon, don't know everything that's been going on, right? There's definitely some things that are happening right now, and you feel like, I'm not sure if I see everything that's happening right now. Moon energy is also when you want to reflect on the darker sides of life, when you're trying to reflect on the deeper, you know, the deeper inner recesses of ourselves, the areas where the sun doesn't necessarily always shine, the parts of ourselves that come out in the dark, you know, in nightlife, in private, right? In dreams. that part of ourself that comes out at those times, that part is the part of ourselves that's governed by the moon. Or sometimes it's in the shadows. Sometimes we are living right in that kind of energy, right? Sometimes it can be quite deceptive, but not in a purposely deceptive way, but simply that it is as it is. It is by nature elusive feelings that are shown by the moon, interactions that are moonlight. They're the true nature is quite elusive because you're not seeing it by the light of the sun, right? You're seeing the reflection of it. You're seeing the shadow, the other side, the underworld, right? And so right now you're feeling very much in that kind of energy, I think, right? You're feeling very much like there's pieces to a puzzle happening that perhaps you're not quite sure what it is, where it's coming from, right? Certainly this communication is kind of, maybe you're a little bit surprised. You're like, well, where's this coming from? Who? I'm not sure that you've necessarily noticed this emperor just yet. You may not have noticed him the way he's noticed you. Male, female, doesn't matter. It talks about the energy. This person could be a female or a male, but they're certainly a leader, someone who's quite responsible, someone who is considered, who's highly respected, right? Someone who is successful, someone who's very much got their shit together. Also someone who's quite fiery and quite forward moving, very engaging, They're also very stable and they know what they want. They certainly know what they want. And like I said, you may not have noticed them looking at you. The light of the moon is happening here. It could be that you guys just hang out at night together. Maybe you go drinking, you socialize. Maybe you socialize in a community like an art community or a theater community or something like that, where you're around each other, but you're always around each other in a kind of party atmosphere or a festive atmosphere, which is also moon energy, right? And so you haven't really necessarily noticed this person taking notice of you. You're getting a victory coming in, Six of Wands. Everything's coming up, Scorpio. It's coming up, Scorpio, so well right now. And a lot of this is because you've done the shadow work. Like I said, harvest readings are very much about karmic cycles, closing off karmic cycles. You've done a lot of shadow work. You're coming into a very positive karmic cycle right now, Scorpio. Like I said at the beginning, I believe you're evolving, and you're going to, most recently, if it hasn't happened, but very soon, you're going to get a little victory coming in. Again, Six of Wands talks about all eyes being on you. Not only do you get a victory, but everybody notices. Everybody gives you your accolades, right? It's public victory. It's not a private, pat on the back. It's a public victory, right? It's a little reaffirmation along the road. Sixes is the number for journeys, taking journeys in life, journeys and specifically towards a more harmonious state, right? If you look at the Six of Swords, for example, in the traditional deck, they're in the boat and they're leaving, right? They're leaving figures cloaked in red showing elevated wisdom. They're leaving, and what they're leaving behind is strife and discord. They're leaving the Five of Swords behind, right? So they're wanting to move to more harmonious shores, harmonious relationships, harmonious encounters. You turn your back on fighting. Here's the same. Six of Wands is a kind of a win along the way. You've taken the steps to kind of turn your back on fighting and turn your back on disharmonious, interactions, right? And then what happens is you get a little victory along the way. You get a little reaffirmation to let you know you're on the right path. A little victory happens, to let everyone else know this, they were right. Scorpio was right to do what they did, And it's wonderful when Six of Wands comes up because it's kind of like an urging on to let you know you are on the right track. But you need to keep working. This win is short-lived. It's just a short little win. It also encourages us to carry on our journey. Oh, my God. And what did I say? Here's the Six of Swords. All right. So that's what I was talking about. Another six. And so in this deck, you can see the Six of Swords. They are in a kind of boat. They're in a kind of, you know, air balloon with a boat attached. And you can see down here the city is burning and they're leaving. Right? They're leaving the city and they're moving to distant shores to build anew, to start again, to find people, to find like-minded people who are at their frequency, who want what they want, who have the same goals, right? Beautiful, beautiful. And it's this decision, it's this journey that you're taking and this commitment to the journey that is bringing out this absolutely so beautiful, rare peacock energy for you. You know, and you are finding parts of yourself, Scorpio, that I think you didn't know you had. There's your strength. There we go. In this deck, it's the 11. A lot of decks switch justice and strength card between the 11 and the 8. Just goes to show you there's so many different schools of thought about the tarot. So, yeah, you know, knowing about as many of the different schools of thought and backgrounds and theology and mysticism to do with the tarot gives you a better understanding of all the decks and all the cards. But in this deck, strength is the 11 card, but that's okay. It's still the same thing. It's understanding your weaknesses and your strengths and playing to them. Right? Leo energy. You know? Finding strength within you that you didn't know you had. Tapping into that. Right? Maintaining confidence. Right? It's hard, you know, being strong, you know, it's easy in a way to be weak, right? It's easy in a way to give in, you know, to just not fight, to just not bother, you know, to just not try to imagine what it might look like that, you know, you could possibly be wrong. You know what I mean? You know how many people you meet nowadays? It's just impossible. Like, you know, are they wrong about anything? Is there anything you're wrong about? Is there anything you don't quite have 100%? Like, you really know everything so much? You know, you see that. And whenever I see somebody who's like that, to me, they're just such... To me, I just see, like, this, like, festering ball of anxiety and insecurity and low self-esteem. You know, to me, there's nothing weaker than an individual who cannot admit their mistakes. There's nothing more of a turnoff than that, honestly. Because it just reeks of insecurity. You know? To never be wrong. You know, to never admit to your weaknesses. Right? Scorpios aren't like that. You guys are one of the few signs that are willing to really dig deep. Four of Wands, there you go. Happy, beautiful relationship coming in. Right? There is a possibility of a very stable relationship for the number of stability. First four being the Emperor. So Four of Wands, a lot of people say Four of Wands is soulmate, twin flames because of the 11-11. But the deeper, when you get into the deeper meaning and understanding of why it truly is twin flames, it's because of the stability that you're finding. The stability in Wands. The Four of Wands talks about two like-minded individuals agreeing to respect each other on all levels. To acknowledge each other, to acknowledge that they don't need to be the same. They only need to respect each other equally, understand each other equally. It's the integration of the ram and the dove, right? And when you have that, you have the basis for an enduring relationship, one that can span lifetimes, right? Because that stability is there, that union is there. The foundation is there, and the foundation is built upon absolute mutual respect and admiration. And when you have mutual respect, and truly mutual respect and admiration, there's never a situation that you two cannot get through or fix, right? There just isn't, you know. And you know, relationships that don't work out, or that, you know, constantly are fighting, I can guarantee you somewhere along the line, the respect is just not the same. You simply don't respect each other to the same degree as you should to have that stability. But in order to get to that, you have to be one half of that puzzle. And so your half, whichever it is, has to be evolved. It has to be ready. And all of this here that you're doing is getting you ready, Scorpio. Let's get some clarity on this. Show me what's going on with Scorpio. Just going to get a quick clarity on this reading. Beautiful reading. Show me a little deeper message, though. You want to know a little bit more about what's going on with Scorpio during this full moon period. What they can expect. What some of these cards are talking about. Who, when, where. Show me. Eight of Cups, Three of Discs, Hanged Man, Prince of Swords, Two of Wands, Four of Cups, Ace of Cups, beautiful. There you go, end of universe. I don't read thoughts upside down or in reverse. Failure is at the bottom. Worries about failure, it's understandable. All right. Sevens. Worries that you're not going to get your dream. These are nagging feelings, anxieties, nothing to really worry about. Eight of Cups. Right? Eight of Cups. Same card. Right? There you go. It's all about eights. It's all about boundaries. It's all about eight. It's all about your strengths and weaknesses. You know it. You're evolving. You're tapping into something you didn't know you had. You're tapping into strength that you didn't know you have. You're understanding your weaknesses and through that finding strength. Beautiful. Three of Discs. And so, like I said, the end of this, right? It's the decision to turn your back on relationships that no longer serve you. That's giving you the impetus as well to get through and end this cycle. Three of Discs works are coming in. Like I said, the Tower work. Three of Discs talks about another three, right? Three of Cups talks about like-minded individuals seeing you for your work, understanding that you're skilled at what you do. You're starting to get recognized for your work. You're starting to get recognition that perhaps you never had before. Again, part of this whole Tower moment. Things are coming in for you that perhaps you never saw for yourself before. You never thought that maybe you'd reach that level, or that people would see you that way, that people will really get you. And now you're realizing that you are. You are finding that people are getting you, that people are seeing you for your talents, reaffirming that you do have something to offer that they want. And all of this is really shaking what was a low self-esteem. A tower built on low self-esteem is shaken, because the next tower is going to be built on extreme confidence and a higher level of esteem, a higher level of strength. This is a tower of insecurity that's being destroyed for you, Scorpio. And all of those insecurities are being destroyed because now you're getting what you deserve. You're getting your accolades. You're getting your like-minded individuals coming towards you. Hanged Man, somebody, there was somebody frozen, kind of in a holding pattern, right? But yet, they've woken up, they've realized, they've seen something. Now, interestingly enough, I don't believe this Hanged Man is to do with you. I think this Hanged Man is to do with this Emperor coming into your life. The Hanged Man is a 12. The first two is the High Priestess. She has all the wisdom in the world, but you kind of have to beg her to share it. She's very cagey. You know, she's very cagey. She's very powerful. She's very cagey, though. She's not one to just share her wisdom idly, right? You gotta have to kind of go to her and seek her out before she opens up to you. Like, in a very similar way, the Hanged Man remains frozen until he sees something that's worth coming down off of that perch for. He's he's settled for less. He's happy with what he's got. Nothing's interested him enough to make him move. In a very similar way, like the High Priestess, right? Takes a lot to get her to move, to come forward, to open herself up to individuals. It's the same way with the Hanged Man, but in a very different way. Whereas you have to go to the High Priestess to beg her for kind of, or encourage her to help you. The Hanged Man has to be kind of, he has to see something something has to come into his vision that's worth him, that he feels is worth him coming down off of that kind of comfortable perch for. This Emperor has been in this Hanged Man, and something about you has brought him down off of his perch, his kind of stasis, right? And got him re-energized. Is waking up the fire in him, the Aries in him, the desire to conquer, perhaps conquer you. They've sent out, he's already sent out an emissary. All right, the Moon, Prince of Swords, yeah, the Moon. So Prince of Swords talks about fighting for the underdog, fighting for yourself. Prince of Swords comes in, with ideas. He's confident. He has a forward momentum, strong forward momentum. He really can't be stopped. If there's anything in his way, he will cut it down and make way for himself, right? He cuts it down with his sword, with his intellect, with his words. Anybody who tries to stop him, he writes them. You know what I mean? Prince of Swords is the one that you get in his face and he embarrasses you and you have to leave. You know what I mean? He stands up for his friends. He's the first one to stand up for people if they're being bullied. He's the first one to stand up and say, hey, stop it. He's the first one to break up a fight as well, with his words, with his negotiating abilities, right? He's that kind of action of the mind, right? But interactive with others, and instigating himself, inserting himself into conversations and scenarios, but from a very kind of knight in shining armor way. And so I feel like he's coming out because this energy is here because you don't, like I said, Moon, it's being kind of like you're not really sure right now. You're really not getting the whole picture about a certain scenario. It could be about this Emperor. Certainly you're interested, like I said, this is quite a little mystery coming forward to you, this desire to meet up, this information coming from, or offer coming from Page of Pentacles. You're really not sure where it's coming from. And so you're being very careful, Prince of Swords, right? You're being careful, you're ready, you've got your kind of, your defenses up. Two of Wands. So forward, right? This victory is just urging you forward. It's giving you confidence to move forward. Mars in Aries energy is Two of Wands. You can see the Tibetan warheads there, right? It's unstoppable. It's more Aries energy. It's more forward moving, Scorpio. This little victory is giving you a lot of confidence, a boost, a real boost, and you just can't be stopped anymore. Four of Cups. Yeah, one of the desires that you have in terms of turning your back is turning your back on empty relationships, on offers that are... Four of Cups talks about, not giving in anymore, being more discerning again in relationships. Not necessarily like the Eight of Cups where you're putting up boundaries, right? And you're putting up certain criteria that people have to fulfill. This is more like that whole kind of like, okay, well, if you're coming to me with an offer, I'm just not going to jump on it. What's that cup? What's in that cup you're giving me? Right? Really, because it looks just like all the other cups. And the other cups didn't give me what I wanted. So you got to show me more. Just show me more. You're not jumping at the chance anymore. You're just not jumping at any old offer that comes in. And Strength, right. So love is an opportunity of great love is coming in on the heels of you and your confidence, right? So as your confidence builds this month, as you go through all of these changes in a way, right? Certainly changes with the Tower moment. And as your self-esteem increases and you go into your full peacock, your love opportunity is going to present itself. It may be that your person, the Emperor, comes forward with a real offer, a real expression now. You see it. You may not see it now. You may not have seen it up until now. But once you come through all of this, something is certainly going to present itself as a wonderful opportunity in love. It may be that you now see them and you just fall for them like that. Perhaps before you just weren't in the right state to see them. It could be that it could very much be a case of somebody that you've seen for quite some time every day, or someone that you know. And then now, as a result of all of these changes in you, you suddenly just turn around and you find out, oh, wait a minute. You just fall in love with this person. You see something in them that you didn't see before. And you realize that this is the one for you. Could also very much be, like I said, this Emperor making his or her intentions known, and you being very receptive to it. They've been watching you for quite some time. They know you, right? They're attracted to this beautiful peacock energy. It could be, like I say, once they kind of reveal themselves, because Emperor is very beautiful as well as a partner. He comes with commitment. Sorry about that. Another one of those emergency flood warnings came on my phone and my video stopped. Sorry about that. I'm back. All right. So like I was saying, I believe this Ace of Cups does have something to do with this Emperor, but everything hasn't really unfolded just yet. It's very much to do with your commitment to all of these changes. And yeah, the possibility of a loving relationship is certainly on the cards and certainly part of your destiny. Universe talks about looking at your life, from a broader picture, seeing the whole path up until now, seeing how you fit into the world and feeling at home in your world, feeling like you're right where you're supposed to be, as though things are divinely led, or you're connected to that divine energy, the messages coming in. You feel, you feel part of the whole renewal of your own life. It's very much an in the moment energy, present consciousness energy, living in the moment, being hyper aware of living, of breathing, of being on a karmic path. And a lot of that is reaffirmation for whatever this very stable relationship is that's coming into your life. It's a big change from what you're used to. It's the kind of stability that you've been kind of almost looking for quite some time, Scorpio. All right. A development of this love coming through as a result of all of this great shadow work. All right, Scorpio, I'm going to call it. This is your full moon reading for June 17th. The full moon was on June 17th. But this reading is going to be for the whole next 28 days of this full moon, kind of full moon to full moon cycle. And if any of this resonated with you, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, hit the bell, and all of that stuff so you can help my channel to grow, so I can keep bringing you these wonderful readings that I enjoy. I really hope you guys enjoy it. One of my other watchers, one of my subscribers, they knew their chart, and so they watched a couple of different videos, and I encourage you to do that. Watch a video for wherever your Venus is placed, or your moon is placed, or your rising is placed. Because they were able to get a little something out of each reading and put it together in quite a cohesive story. So I do urge you always to check your sun, moon, rising, Venus, and your Mars. Your Mars energy can dictate a lot too. All right? But for right now, Scorpios, I love you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful full moon June. Bye-bye.